Do you guys remember those CGI videos that used to play in between the episodes on YTV in the mid-90s? I've asked everyone about it, I know, and nobody remembers. It's driving me crazy. This is a deep cut, and if you're one of those channel surfers that used to switch to something else as soon as the commercial started, you may have missed this. But I'm talking about YTV's short Circuitz series that aired from 1994 to 1997. These were 30-second to 2-minute CGI shorts that usually aired in between early CGI shows like Reboot, Donkey Kong, and Beasties, or was it Beast Wars? You may remember it from the border around the screen when they played, and these shorts were sampled from 3 CGI short film collections: The Mind's Eye, Beyond the Mind's Eye, and Imaginaria. I'll explain these 3 collections and the shorts that are in each collection. All 3 of them were featured on YTV. Starting off with The Mind's Eye, Computer Animation Odyssey, which released on January 1st, 1990. It was distributed by Miramar Images Incorporated, directed by Jan Nickelman, produced by Jan Nickelman and Steve Churchill, and composed by James Reynolds. The film serves as a demonstration of computer animation when the art form was still in its relative infancy, and the sales of this video were RIA certified as multi-platinum and reached as high as number 12 on the Billboard's video sales chart. Radio Shack distributed their own versions of this and beyond, which I'll get to in a second. Both included extended versions of the end credit songs and replaced footage in seemingly random places. Some replacement footage in Mind's Eye is taken from Beyond and vice versa. Secondly is Beyond the Mind's Eye, which released on December 23rd, 1992, and it was also distributed by Miramar Images. It was directed by Michael Boydston, produced by Stephen Churchill, and composed by Jan Hammer. This was also the composer for the 80s Miami Vice show. I may not have mentioned that before. Video sales were RIA certified, multi-platinum again, and reached as high as number 8 on the Billboard video sales chart. The typical entry in the Mind's Eye series is a short packaged film, usually about 50 to 60 minutes long, with an electronic music soundtrack over a series of music video-like sequences. The general style is light and cartoonish, and due to the difficulty of rendering more complicated images using the computers of the day, there wasn't very much complication in what was being shown. The computer animation sequences that appeared in the films were generally not produced specifically for the Mind's Eye series, but rather were work originally created for other purposes, including demo reels, commercials, music videos, and feature films. Nickman then assembled these sequences into a narrative through creative editing, which resulted in a double platinum selling film considered to be a milestone in the field of computer animation. This approach gave Churchill access to the best quality computer graphics of the time without having to bear their substantial production costs. Third source video for Short Circuitz is Imaginaria. Imaginaria was released on June 20th, 1993, directed by David Newsom, and was also produced by Miramar Images Inc. My cousins actually had a copy of this VHS, and we watched it a few times. I was always saying that this is crazy, that this is that YTV thing from the 90s. This is probably in like 2002. Imaginaria also features the voices of Dion Richmond and Tisha Campbell, if you didn't know. So in Imaginaria, most are multiple shorts edited together, but on the whole, it's not as confusing as most of the examples of the method. It's notable for including the adventures of Andre and Wally B, how well most of the shorts have aged, and for its memorable songs and instrumentals by Gary Powell. Sorry, it's Editing Mac here. Just wanted to point out that these videos were also used on drug trips. People were on shrooms, acid, things like that, like hallucinogenics. And they'd be watching these videos and tripping out. Yeah, so that's it. Back to you, Mac. We'll get back to the Pixar connection after some random facts. Footage from the Laserdisc game, Cube Quest, is used more than footage from any other individual clip in the series. Some examples include the jungle tunnel in Creation, the many tunnels in all shapes and sizes,
One thing's for sure, they're always changing. One thing's for sure, we don't know why.
All that I know to look them in the eye.
And the flying ship in all shapes and sizes. Also, some clips from the shorts are CGI commercials and promos, like an ID for Music Plus, which is a French language music channel, if you didn't know. Quebec, obviously. Beyond the Mind's Eye was a bestseller in the US when it was originally released in VHS and Laserdisc. So Roger Ebert selected Beyond the Mind's Eye as his video pick of the week for the week of December 23rd, 1992 on the TV series Siskel and Ebert, which I used to watch. It was great. And finally, several experts from The Mind's Eye were seen in the 1992 sci-fi horror film The Lawnmower Man, which itself was featured in Beyond the Mind's Eye. So it's kind of like a Inception circle. So anyways, here are the shorts and where they originated. We'll start with virtual reality, which is on Beyond the Mind's Eye. And it was basically a trippy, color-filled video kaleidoscope.
Inside the essence of your imagination.
Seeds of Life was also on Beyond the Mind's Eye, and it showed the growth of a seed into an entire forest teeming with wildlife. Afternoon Adventure, which was also on Beyond the Mind's Eye, was a 3D day in the life of a bee that, spoiler alert, ends with the bee having been in the greenhouse on the moon. Brave New World was also on Beyond the Mind's Eye, and it was a 3D rendering of a computer chips and components gradually moving into an AI world. Transformers was also on Beyond the Mind's Eye. It's literally Transformers mixed with first-person shooter. Definitely a 3D capability showcase for video game developers. Too Far was also on Beyond the Mind's Eye, an upbeat song with a random assortment of 3D renderings. Windows was also on Beyond the Mind's Eye, and it was a 3D rendering of everyday items in a home and famous paintings. Nothing But Love was also on Beyond the Mind's Eye, and that was showing humanoid figures in love. The Pyramid, also on the Mind's Eye, was another upbeat song with 3D renderings of a dog running by a pyramid chasing butterflies before shifting to what looks to be an Egyptian ceremony and two figures becoming butterflies. Theater of Magic was also on Beyond the Mind's Eye, and that was a 3D ride through a theater that becomes a voyage through random environments. Voyage Home was also on Beyond the Mind's Eye, and that was more so random 3D renderings with an emphasis on technical ability for the time. And now we're moving on to from Beyond the Mind's Eye to just the Mind's Eye. So Creation was on the Mind's Eye, and that was a 3D rendering of the creation of the solar system and Earth with metal dinosaurs. Civilization Rising was also on the Mind's Eye, and that was essentially a Greek statue coming to life as civilizations of the world are highlighted throughout time, ending in a futuristic city. Part of the Machine was also on the Mind's Eye, and that was a 3D rendering of gears, human strength, and the many parts that make up a machine. And finally, we get to Imaginaria, the third source video. The first video is actually the same name as the title, so it's called Imaginaria. And that's where the audience is invited on a journey to a wondrous land of magical sights.
Where you learn how high to fly, to a castle where you'll find a magic lantern in your mind, exploding like lightning in the sky.
Anything is Possible is also on Imaginaria, and it's a continuation of the title video, where we meet a fountain pen with a taste for dancing in a fancy dress, a fat airplane, kind of reality warping, butterflies, and a naked artist figure model.
We can see anything that we want. It's as simple as it seems. It doesn't cost a lot to get inside our dreams. He says that we can be anything, we can do anything, anything is possible now.
Locomotion is also on Imaginaria, and it's engine number 9 finds a damaged trestle on the way to its destination, but number 9 is not gonna let that stop him. Also, engine number 9 on the New York Transit line. Andre and Wally B. Now this one is the Lucasfilm Pixar video. It's one of the first, actually, Lucasfilm Pixar made before Toy Story. Andre wakes up in the woods to find a bee coming for him. And that's pretty much it. We'll get back to that though. Pair People, it's the first 3D CGI video, actually. And this is it right here. All Shapes and Sizes is also on Imaginaria. And it's a catchy song. One thing's for sure, they're always changing.
Things they come in different shapes and sizes.
Things they work in many different ways.
Sometimes one can look just like the other.
Sometimes one is different every day.
One thing's for sure, they're always changing. One thing's for sure, we don't know why.
All that I know is when I'm grown up, I'll be the size to look them in the eye.
Rubber Duckies is on Imaginaria. And that one is a duck spawned from an inner tube, explores some sort of nursery factory studio. This one you might remember as well. It was on a lot on YTV. Gourmet Records was also on Imaginaria. The guy that was hungry for music, and he would bite a record and it would start playing. I remember this one too.
It's got to be a record, gourmet record.
Chomp, chomp, got to eat a record, Chomp, chomp, got to eat a record,
Night Magic, also on Imaginaria. Basically, it's like Toy Story meets The Brave Little Toaster in the city. Also, there's naked aliens in it for some reason.
Please come out and
What do you do when you're walking down the street and then you see night magic?
Down the road, where you can kind of watch as your tour guide drives you through the set of an earthquake. This one I also remember.
gives me peace of mind. Traveling down the road and I don't care where I'm going, looking for excitement. Here it's plain to see, buckled in the seat and I don't care where it takes me. Rolling down the highway, it's good enough for me. Rolling down the highway, making real good time. Rolling down the highway gives me peace of mind.
Lucy and Remo, epic story of two birds in love and the mysterious window that separates them.
Who was born with the same old, same old. It was kind of crazy anyway. Just went ahead and did it. Big mistake. Big mistake. For a long time, Remo flew around the giant window looking for Lucy, but she never came back.
Dyro the dog, also on Imaginaria. This one I also remember.
Lucky to be a pink and blue dog. He's got ridges down his back and a long crooked tail. He's trying all the time just to stay out of jail. He's Dyro the dog.
And that rhymes with dog.
He's Dyro the dog.
I'm the dog, where's the bone?
He's Dyro. Dyro the dog. He's Dyro.
More bells and whistles. One of the most epic music videos produced in the early 90s. It's kind of an early version of Animusic. And Going Home, which is also on Imaginaria, and it's time to go home, pretty much. Closing time.
Come back home with us from Imaginaria. Don't forget all the fantasies we shared. We found castles in the sky where our minds began to fly, leading us wherever we dared. Going round and round, Imaginaria with friends, round and round. I'd go.
Let me get back to the Adventures of Audrey and Wally B. That was that Lucasfilm and Pixar video that was on Imaginaria. Basically, it was a 1984 short CGI film produced by Lucasfilm's graphic group, which would eventually form into Pixar after George Lucas sold the division to Steve Jobs. It was directed and written by Alvy Ray Smith and animated by John Lasseter. And being such an early CGI film, there were many challenges in getting it made. It was rendered using a $13 million Cray XMP48 supercomputer provided by Cray Research and 10 VAX 11750 super mini computers from Project Athena, the fastest and most advanced computers in the world at the time. The model program used at the time could only produce simple geometric primitive shapes, so cones, cubes, spheres, cylinders, patches, lines, etc. And in spite of John Lasseter wanting a flexible pear shape for Andre's body and Wally B's feet, which is found in most cartoon characters, Ed Catmull eventually managed to create a teardrop shape that was achieved by using two spheres cut in half and made into different sizes and the computer filled in the section of the middle. Ed put in the controls to make it distort and bend in different ways, and on top of that, there was also no way to output the animation directly onto film, so Craig Good had to photograph an actual computer monitor calibrated with the film playing it frame by frame in order to get it onto a print. And due to the big deadline, the crew actually forgot to get the cartoon finished in time for its premiere at SIGGRAPH in 1984, showing it with parts still in wireframe form. Regardless, it was met with superb reception there, and the film was ultimately completed anyways for the Toronto International Animation Festival. The film's notable for the first attempt in CGI to use squash and stretch animation techniques and create non-geometric shapes that could do so in CG, and also for its then complex 3D backgrounds with particle system for the leaves, and the cartoon was lit like Maxfield Parrish painting. One of the earliest, if not the first attempts to make a CGI short film with cartoon-like aesthetic, actually. While its crew would go on to form Pixar, this first film was actually done as a project for Lucasfilm, also for a company that has story is king as its mantra. It's somewhat odd for their very first film to have no plot, but granted, at the time, just having something resembling characters at all was considered impressive for a CGI film. Almost all of the film's soundtrack is made of 2 public domain music cues. The opening cue and the second half of the film are from Giancho Rossini, The Barber of Seville, and the spring section of Antonio Vivaldi's Four Seasons used for the credits. Andre's appearance is based on the plain, crazy design of Mickey Mouse. His laugh sounds kind of like Donald Duck's, and he also bellows a scream that sounds like Goofy at the end. Andre's name is tribute to the 1981 film My Dinner with Andre. Yeah, and that's all I could squeeze out of Short Circuits. Trust me, I tried to find more stuff. It's a classic series for 90s kids in Canada, and specifically GTA, where I lived, and it's something that always stuck with me. If you enjoy these nostalgia trips, then definitely consider liking, commenting, or subscribing to get notified when I'm dropping another video. I have 2 videos on 90s Canadian child stars here and here that you can check out, and we'll be continuing that series as well as doing more videos on 90s stuff. Thanks again for watching, and remember, don't remember anything in particular. Just remember that the 90s were awesome.